Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast about empathy in diverse cultural fostering inclusion. Today, we are here with Jesus Flores and Alberto Salas. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, Mar. Excited to discuss this important topic.
Likewise, Mariana, it is a subject that really impacts our daily lives.
I want to start with a general question to kick off the discussion. How do you think, human relationships have changed with the use of the internet, social media, and globalization?
I would say the change has been significant. On one hand, social media and globalization have allowed us to connect with people from different cultures much more easily and quickly. This has opened up many opportunities to learn and understand other ways of life. However, it has also brought challenges such as misunderstandings and conflicts due to cultural difference.
Yeah, Jesus, I agree. Although digital tools bring us closer, they can also create barriers. Writing communication, for example, often lacks the contents and now send phones in face to face communication.
Wow, that's a very good point, Alberto. Have you ever been in a difficult situation, the cultural difference or something?
Yes, I remember once in my neighborhood I had a friend from Japan, and his way of interacting with people and communicating was very different from mine. At first, it was challenging to understand his expectations and methods, but over time, I learned to appreciate his meticulous and respectful approach. I realized that in the end, his methods weren't better or worse, just different. Learning to collaborate with him enriched my daily perspective a lot.
I had a similar experience in university. I had a team member for Germany who was always very direct and at first, but then I realized it was just his way, and I learned not to take it personally. Over the time, his frankness helped us become more efficient and clear in our projects.
You have gone through a very interesting and valuable experience because it is a shock to understand other cultures and open your mind to understand them. So, now we go from the second question. What problems do you think about negative emotion can arise from lack of tolerance and reflection of difference?
Primarily, I think it can lead to a toxic and unproductive environment. Lack of acceptance and understanding can cause conflicts and reduce group collaboration and cohesion. Additionally, it can foster stereotypes and prejudices that are very harmful in the long run.
Absolutely. It can also generate negative feelings such as inclusion, anxiety, and depression. It's to who are rejected or don't feel accepted. This not only affects the individual but can also negatively impact overall group performance and atmosphere.
Absolutely. So, what actions could we take to prevent these problems, even when we are not directly involved? Do you think it is better to act or stay on the sidelines?
Personally, I believe it's always better to act. Passivity can be interpreted as complicity. If we see someone being excluded or treated unfairly, we should intervene and try to mediate the situation. Sometimes a simple gesture of support can make a big difference for someone feeling isolated.
Yeah, Jesus, I agree. Sometimes it just takes one person standing up for what is right to change the dynamic. Education and awareness are also key. Openly discussing Difference and promoting inclusion can make a significant difference. And additionally, we can organize to create safe space where everyone feels welcome.
That's very, very true. What do you think about the negative emotion that can arise when a person for a minority group is rejected or excluded?
I think negative emotions like sadness, frustration, and anger are common in these situations. Feeling, feeling excluded can be devastating and deeply affect a person's self-esteem. Moreover, ongoing stress can have negative effects on mental and physical health.
Exactly, Jesus. When a person constantly feels rejected, they many develop distrust towards the majority group, which in turn hinder integration and positive coexistence. It is a vicious cycle that we must break with the concrete actions of inclusion and support.
It seems like we are touching on very important points, guys. Let's talk a little bit more about action that we can take for foster positive coexistence. What do you suggest?
A good strategy is to encourage open and honest communication, creating an environment where people feel safe to express their thoughts and experience is crucial. It's also helpful to organize workshops and activities that promote intercultural understanding.
Exactly, Jesus. It is important to celebrate difference. Each culture has something value to offer. And by celebrating this difference, we can build a more inclusive and enriched environment.
That sounds very promising to wrap up. Any final recommendation for our listeners on how to deal with cultural difference and promote positive coexistence?
I would recommend that we all become more aware and reflective of our own bias and stereotypes. Educating yourselves and being open to new perspectives is crucial. Let's not be afraid to step out of your comfort zones and get to know people from different cultures.
Yeah, and I would add that empathy is the key. Putting ourselves in someone else's choice and trying to understand their experience and viewpoints can completely change how we interact with others. Inclusion starts with a small daily gesture of respect and understanding.
Those are very excellent recommendations. Thank you, Jesus and Alberto, for your insights. And thank you all for listening. We hope this podcast has given you some ideas and tools to improve coexistence in your own environments. See you next time.